Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we'll be making tiny chocolate chip ice cream sandwiches. Usually, whenever I go to the ice cream truck, my favorite treat to get is one of those big chocolate chip cookies with the ice cream inside, and it's like a sandwich because there's a cookie on top and a cookie on the bottom. But the only problem is it's huge, like it's so big, and I have a really hard time finishing it. And it makes me kind of sad because I want to at least finish one. So I came up with the idea to make tiny little ice cream sandwiches instead. So that way I can eat as many as I want and I'd be able to finish all of them. So the first part of this project, I am going to need this big chug of vanilla ice cream. So creamy looking. We have to scoop the ice cream and put it in this little pie pan. I'm using vanilla ice cream. You can use whatever flavor you want. Look how insanely creamy that is. That just came out of the freezer. I'm gonna use my little orange spatula and I'm gonna flatten this whole thing out. Now it doesn't have to be like perfectly on the edges. We just need it to be a flat surface. I can't believe this delicious flavor comes from a long black string bean. They have to cut open the bean and scrape out the vanilla. That's how vanilla is made. Almost done smoothing it out. We're gonna put it inside the freezer. Let's go put it in the freezer. We're just gonna put this next to the frozen pizza. Now we're gonna put away this vanilla ice cream because we're not gonna need this for the rest of the project. I needed that though. Okay, while the ice cream sheet sets in the freezer, we're gonna go ahead and make our tiny little chocolate chips. Right here, I have some semi-sweet chocolate, and it's like a big block of chocolate. Open this up. Ooh, that's one big square of chocolate. Snap off maybe about half of this. Oh my God. It sounded like I broke the table. So we're gonna crack the chocolate into little pieces. That way when we microwave it, it'll melt easier. Oh, okay. Ow, my fingers. I think the chocolate's mad at me because I wanna eat it. Last one. Ah! And microwave it for about 20 seconds at a time. So it didn't really melt, but I'm still gonna give it a little mix. But 20 more seconds. If you microwave it too much, you'll know when the chocolate burns, when it starts to get really clumpy instead of all smooth, like how chocolate should be. Okay. You can just keep mixing the chocolate right out the microwave and it just melts. When you see the chocolate look like this, just keep mixing it. You don't need to put it back in the microwave anymore, unless you want clumpy burnt chocolate. After the chocolate's all melted, we are gonna put it inside this little squeeze bottle. We're gonna squeeze out tiny chocolate chips onto this parchment paper. So I got a little funnel here, and I'm actually gonna use this to help me put the chocolate inside my little bottle. Pour it in here like this. Push it in there because the chocolate's kind of thick. Probably gonna take me a minute. Sometimes when we do things, it takes a little longer than we expect, but that's okay. Patience is key. Put that cap onto the squeeze bottle, have the chocolate come down, and then do tiny little drops of chocolate. So you kind of squeeze it out from the top a little bit, and then just kind of, yeah, you just kind of go up and down until that little long part just kind of lets go of the bottle. What am I doing buying chocolate chips when I can just make it by myself? We're actually gonna put this chocolate aside and let it dry out in the open. For the next part, I'm actually gonna make a little mold to stamp out my cookies and my ice cream. That is gonna be the size of our little ice cream patties. Cut just the top part off. That way I can use it for a stamp. Okay, Helen. Ooh, even after we wash it, it still smells like Coke. Perfect. So now that we have our little mold, let's go check on the ice cream sheet in the freezer. How you doing there, buddy? Press down onto the ice cream. Push it out onto another plate. So you just kind of give it a little spin, pick it up, drop it on the other side. Fast. Ah, my fingers are so cold. Ah, this is a challenge. Maybe I should put this in the freezer for a little bit. I think this pan was just too warm. So I'm gonna put that in the freezer, close that up, and let it sit for a bit. I think I'm gonna put this back inside here too. It's okay, guys, we made... They slid to the other side. Okay, I'm gonna put these back in the freezer, and let's just get started on the chocolate chip cookies first. All right, so we ran into some little problems. That's okay. We're gonna just move on, fix the problem, and we're gonna keep going with this project. So for the next part, we're gonna be making chocolate chip cookies, and the first thing we're gonna need is 3 tablespoons of butter. Now, it's salted butter, but usually everybody uses non-salted butter, so I'm just not gonna put salt in this after. 3 tablespoons of butter. So I'm gonna put it in the microwave probably for about 15 seconds. You just keep mixing it and it melts, dissolves completely. Next, we're gonna need just 1 egg yolk. By the way, guys, I'm making a very small batch of cookies because we're making tiny chocolate chip cookies. Oh. Bloop. Mix the egg yolk with the butter. Okay, after you mix that, I'm gonna put in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Pour that in. Mix this all together now. After you mix it, it should look like this nice creamy texture. So we're gonna need 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, packed. Now when you say packed, that means you're gonna squeeze it, flatten it out, and that is a packed brown sugar. 1, 2, and 3. And then we're gonna need 3 tablespoons of regular sugar. 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons. Mix everything until it's a nice one blended texture. Baking soda, not baking powder. And we're gonna add about 1/4 teaspoon. So I think this. At this point, after you put in all the liquids, you can switch to using a spatula to mix it. 1/2 cup of flour. Slowly add the flour and mix it in. When you slowly add it in, it doesn't, okay, well, I didn't slowly add it in. When you slowly add it in, it makes it less clumpy. Okay, so the cookie dough is ready. Now it's time to check on our chocolate chips. So my hand is really warm, and if I were to touch these tiny chocolate chips, they're gonna melt. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna pick this paper up and just kind of give it some shakes, and it's gonna fall right into our bowl. This is so cool. I'm not even kidding how amazed I am because we make these chocolate chips. We didn't buy these in the store, we made it ourselves. Now that we have our chocolate chips in here, we're gonna give it a good mix and mix all those chocolate chips inside. We're actually gonna reuse our little parchment paper here to bake our cookies. Cut this part off, and then I use the mold. This is the cookie size that I need. Roll it into a nice ball, put it right there. I'm almost done with pre-rolling my cookie balls. I just need 3 more. But in the meantime, first I'm gonna preheat my little conventional oven, 350 degrees Fahrenheit. We're probably only gonna be baking this for about 5 minutes. A regular sized cookie takes about 10 to 12 minutes. So since these are so tiny, let's do it for 5. Open this up. Now because they are tiny, tiny cookies, you need to keep an eye on it the whole time. And now, we're gonna watch it. Okay, so I think the cookies are ready because they're starting to brown around the sides. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this off. It's done. Take out these cookies. We're actually gonna scoop it up and put it onto the cooling rack. And you're gonna need a spatula with a chicken on top or it's not gonna work. Put 2. We still have some cookie batter left, so I'm just gonna go ahead and make the rest of this cookie dough. So we have our second batch done. I'm actually gonna move our little toaster oven, well, conventional oven, over on this side because we're gonna start working on the ice cream and we have the heat right next to the ice cream. Ugh, it's not gonna look good. I'm gonna take a chunk of this ice cream. Oh, it's a lot harder now than earlier. Put it directly onto the cookie, and then I'm gonna take another cookie and I'm gonna squeeze this down. Look how cute it is. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm gonna put it in, because this container is all messed up now. I gotta put it in a different container, and every single one that we make, I'm gonna pop it back into the freezer. So that way, it won't melt so fast. And squish. It's so cute. I'll put it back in here. Put it back in here. Ooh, put it on top. And then gently squish. Oh my God, guys. I'm so happy. Okay, we're on a roll. Let's keep going. I gotta do this fast. Faster. Come on, Helen. Oh no, drop the ice cream. I'm gonna squish it down. Sometimes you're gonna have cookies bigger and smaller, but that's okay. We're gonna make it work either way. Press down. Oh, my fingers are so cold. We're gonna turn our sandwich into a sandwich beauty. Oh, yes. It looks so perfect. All right, guys. All 9 of them are now in the freezer. Put that back into the freezer as well. And we're gonna let that set. Finish that off. Now, while that cools down, let's go check out the ice cream sandwiches that we've already done. I am extremely proud of us because look what we made. We've made itty bitty tiny little chocolate chip ice cream sandwiches. Wow! Oh. The cookies are still super moist even though they're so tiny, and it's so flavorful. It just goes so well with the ice cream. Look how pretty that one looks. Oh no, it's too pretty to eat. I'm gonna take a bite out of this big one. I think if we left it in the freezer longer, the ice cream would actually be more solid and not so squishy. All right, let's do a quick recap of what we did today. The first thing we did was we got our ice cream and we put it into a flat pan and made it into a sheet. Then we cut out a Coke bottle and used the lid as a mold to stamp out all of our ice cream. Then we made some chocolate chips and some cookie dough, baked it into these tiny little beauties, add the ice cream inside, and turned it into these beautiful little ice cream sandwiches. And oh my gosh, it is the most adorable project to make and the most delicious because this isn't like the giant popsicle. You can actually eat this in one bite. All right, that's it for today's video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.